It is only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ali Mehdaoui here, live with you in a brand new installment of Yup Daily, and I have the privilege to be educating today on something that I know a whole lot about: 10 mistakes to avoid in multi-level marketing, network marketing, affiliate marketing, anything that has to do with building organizations. The reason I believe that I am more than qualified to educate on this content and this topic is because not only I have been in this community for the last 14 years in this industry. I got out of it for about, let's say, 2.5, 3 years, but I've been overall in and out for 14 years. And anything that you may think that could be done wrong under the sun, I have done it. Everything you can learn to avoid, I'm going to be sharing it with you. So welcome and congratulations for making it on this segment. And if you know, or you yourself are in the network marketing profession, you need to tag the right person who needs to hear this information for two reasons. One, I can avoid you the pain of the learning curve, or I can remind you of what you need to do to adjust so you can make the best of it. I believe that it is the best profession that you can be part of, assuming it is done right, with the right partnership, with the right company, the right product, the right compensation plan. So you're going to need your stars to be aligned, and 99% of the time, it is a struggle for us to even identify if our stars are aligned. So let me go and get right into it. And the very first thing that I want to talk to you about, there are 3 ways that I identify if I happen to be on the right network marketing company or I need to run away. The very first thing is, if there was no compensation plan, would I still use this product or this service? If my answer is no, I am in the wrong place. If my answer is yes, I am in the right place. That means that you value the product or the service regardless to the compensation plan, because if you are motivated just by the compensation plan, you will quit just by the compensation plan, because there are always shiny objects out there. So again, the question you got to ask yourself is, if there was no compensation plan, would I still use this product and or service? If the answer is yes, congratulations, make a check mark right next to it. Number 2, you got to ask yourself, is the compensation plan progressive enough? In other words, do I see every 3 months worth of growth if I take a screenshot to the last 3 months, or am I just going backwards every single month? Because here's the reality. If the presenter is telling me that this is the best compensation plan in the world, if the presenter and the leaders are saying we rank advanced and we're making a whole lot of money, you got to ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? So my recommendation is reach out to a top earner and say, hey, I love that everyone is rank advancing. I love everyone that they're making all this kind of money, but I'm curious, what do I have to do? Because clearly there is something that I'm not understanding or something that I'm doing wrong, and allow them to help you out. If you have that answer, you're going to be doing very, very well, because you're just copying and pasting what someone else is already succeeding with. And that leads to the third qualifier, if you are in the right network marketing company or not. For me, is the leadership as invested in me as much as I am invested in the company? See, if I feel like I'm just another number in the company, I'm probably going to be struggling for a very long time, meaning I'm just a sales rep in the eyes of the company. You have to wonder, and again, Am I just a number, or is the leadership as invested in me as much as I am in it? Now, here is how you identify that. And you could do this with every single person. And I welcome everyone within our community to do the same with me, is reach out to that individual and say, hey, I am the reason the next 3 months you're going to make another 100 or 200 or $300,000 or $1 million. And I want you to put me as the priority in the next 90 days. I want you to directly and personally work with me and mentor me. Now, I warn you, that person is going to put you to work. And if you're not ready to put the work, if you're just all talk and not work, they're probably going to call you out on your bluff. So, me personally, I reach out to the leadership like, hey, I need you to be available to me every single day. I'm not as successful as you are, so I need to use your credibility to add into my influence. I'm not as available with my time, so I need you personally to work with my team. Now, in the time that I'm available, I will do whatever you tell me and whatever it takes every single day by any means necessary. If you have that agreement and that person agrees to work with you, congratulations, your stars are aligned. Now, here's unfortunately what I've heard, some scary stories in the past, where that upline or leader says, no, I only work with X amount of ranks. Or when you need me with a qualified person who's ready to enroll, then you can put me on a three-way call. I'm not ready to work with anybody. I only work with 6 and 7 figure earners. Now, there's some validity to the qualifications that they're creating, but if you and they agree to work together, you better bring it home, because if that top earner, top producer decides to drive and work with you on an ongoing basis, man, if you are not bringing the heat, that person is going to say, I took the attention from those who are actually working to work with you, and you're not doing your part and you're not putting the work forward. So I caution you to work with that. So those are the 3 qualifiers that I have in terms of identifying that I am in the right network marketing company. Now let's talk about some mistakes. For me personally, the biggest mistake that I have done, it was my early days back in 2000 and maybe 11 or 10. I think it was 2010. And I was in a network marketing company, and I will never forget, it was my very first home meeting 1 week after I got started. And I had a guest in my house. And that guest was a colleague from a restaurant that we worked together. And she was one of 2 individuals that showed up for me. It was a PBR, private business reception. And I'll never forget it. She looked at me dead in the eye at the end of the presentation, and she said, hey, they say, you can make $1,000 in your first 30 days. Did you make it yet? Now, remember, I'm only in 1 week, my very first PBR. So if you do the math, I haven't enrolled anybody. I just got started. I'm a rookie, right? I'm a very, very, very young person in the network marketing profession. My upline looks at me and does this. Now, you guessed it. I lied. As a rookie, as a youngster, I've spent $500 for me, $500 for my wife. All I'm thinking is I got to make this $1,000 back. So I looked and I was like, yeah, sure. 1,000, of course. 30 days did it. Of course. You want water? You want some water? Now, my very first mistake, and the worst mistake you can make. Why am I telling you this is because she went on and got started. She went on and had a home meeting after that. And that was a very good meeting. No one enrolled because they didn't see value in her. They didn't respect her. They just saw a server who's trying to hustle us for $500. What ended up happening is 30 days later, she came back to me and she said, listen, I'm not as good as you are. I'm not as talented as you are. I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do this. I'm only destined to be a server. See how sad that is? I robbed somebody from their potential because I said the unimaginable that was never done as if I got it done. So the biggest mistake that I regret until this day in this profession is I lied to that person. And it was the biggest lesson that I've ever had. And I challenged my uplines, and I actually, quit my first network marketing company because they would push back on me and say, nope. No, just go along with it. Don't worry about it. And that's probably one of the reasons many people run away from network marketing, right? Let's talk about the next one, which is the idea that I, for somehow, some way, know it all. So that's a mega mistake. Now, I don't care if you're making $1 million or you're making $1 a month. I am here to tell you that there is never a cap on the information, the knowledge, and the wisdom required in order for you to become a top earner. in any business, but in specifically network marketing, you are required to continually educate yourself on a day-to-day basis in order to have the education, the mental fortitude, the wisdom, the self-respect and dignity to yourself and to others, the ability to influence others, the ability to manage and grow businesses. So all of that requires incredible amount of personal and business development. And as long as you say, oh, I already know how to do this, I've done this before. Oh, I know, I'll just use funnels. I'll just use email marketing. I'll just use digital marketing. I've done this before. I'm here to tell you, you will be broke for a very long time. You can lie, you can fake it, you can hype it up, you can do all the Canva pictures that you want. But if you know, you know. And for the most part, most people who pretend, they are not making a dime, or if they are making it, they're spending twice as much on all the tools and the resources just to maintain a facade. So do not make that mistake by just pretending that you know what you're doing, because unfortunately you are not. The next mistake that you can do is fall into the trap of hype marketing. Hype marketing is saying, I have the best, the biggest, the greatest. There's no one before me, no one after me. I am the one and only. I am the chosen one in network marketing. There is nothing like this before. Now, it may be true and it may be the case, but unfortunately, in the world that we live in, because there's everyone who is saying the same exact thing as you are saying, it makes you look just as sleazy as a snake oil a salesman as everybody else. So my recommendation, instead of falling in the trap of hyperbole, make sure that you are having private conversations with individuals. Yes, you can market and be proud of what you represent, but when it comes to promoting and prospecting, don't do it in a public fashion, because you're going to find yourself trying to flex your muscles. You're going to be that peacock that needs to show all of their colors, while in reality, there are eagles out there who are laughing at the peacock. So it is very important for you to make sure that you are not falling in a trap of hyperbole. The other thing is to be transparent. Now, I know I talked about not lying, but there's a very meticulous situation that I want to talk to you about. There's a thing that we talk about even in network marketing. It's called don't ask, don't tell. See, in network marketing, don't ask, don't tell, meaning if they don't ask about it, don't tell them. In the first network marketing company that I was in, the individual could make up, in certain ranks, can make up to $25,000 a month. Now, many times the presenter would say something like this: I make $25,000 a month as this rank, right? And then you fall for it because you see 25,000, but you don't see the up to, which is very, very tiny. And the mindset, if they don't ask me, are you really making 25,000, or what does it mean up to? And I learned this because in that company that I was in, I unfortunately identified that I had 80 to 85% of the room, and I was out producing my upline, and I wasn't making $25,000 a month. And I'm wondering, how in the world am I not making $25,000 a month? So he put himself in a very awkward situation that I challenged him and asked, hey, how come I'm not? And then I was told, oh, you can make up to based on this and this and this and this and this. And it was all these gotchas and all these variables that no one knew. So we're bringing people based on the hype of you can make up to, or you can make $25,000 a month. But in truth, honesty, and all reality, 99% of the people that were in that company never even made a dime, and if they did, they spent twice as much. Now, are you with me? Is this resonating with you? I know it's very controversial, and most people in network marketing don't talk about stuff like this, but I'm not a network marketer. I'm your strategic partner. I'm a colleague of yours. I'm a business owner. We have an entrepreneurial community to help people start, grow, or scale a business, and if I can't say it to you like it is, how can I be your business partner in the first place? So I owe you this much, and you need to make an adjustment in a language that you are using each and every single day. It's absolutely, absolutely important. Okay. The next mistake that you need to avoid is to fall into the trap of the presenter. The presenter's job is to simply, literally educate on the facts of the company, the industry, and the different variables that the company offers. Don't fall in the trap of the presenter that is bringing the perfect image. It will be the too good to be true sound. It's okay to identify that you have a great company, but also make sure you fine tune the amount of excitement that you're trying to let the world know. In other words, Don't fall again into the hyperbole. Don't start talking about things that you don't know about. And fortunately, everyone is quoting everyone about every book, about every audio, and no one is giving the credit to where the quote is coming from. And the person is pretending to know what they talk about. Let me give you an example. My second network marketing company that I was in, it was an energy company. And this gentleman was pretending to know everything about energy. I mean, he knew enough. And then I had a person that was by my side, and that person that was by my side said, listen, my mom and dad are not caring about network marketing. They want to know, how is the electricity rate going to be changed while we are still with our local energy company? And I said, well, listen, I flicked the business card. I'm like, that's his business card. See what it says in there? Energy broker. I was like, he knows everything. And then I brought him to the front of the room. And I was embarrassed because this guy, when he was asked, and I'm looking at him, he was asked by my friend, hey, how are you, sir? I'm really interested, but my mother and my father are curious. If we are not switching an energy supplier, can you please help me understand how are we still going to be getting the same electricity and lower it? Now, I truly thought the reality should be a true education on how it actually happens. This gentleman just went to the switch on the wall and he said, let me show you. See this switch on the wall? That's how it works. You turn it up and down. Nothing changes. We're just going to lower your bill. He's like, no, I understand the concept, but what is the appropriate answer? Because I cannot use my mother and father's bill that I'm still living in their house unless I give them this answer. And I'm trying my very best to keep composure and with this edified person, but I wanted to yell at this guy like, dude, give him a legitimate answer. He didn't know how it worked. He just pretended because he was the presenter and he had a business card that said energy broker. Again, very, very, very important for you to not make these mistakes, okay? The next mistake that I have made is to pretend to be the top producer and the top earner. First and foremost, what is the top producer? What does that even mean? Like, help me understand. Is the top producer someone who is on top of all production? Is the top producer the person that produces the most numbers? Is the top producer the person that produces the most rank advancements in their teams? Right? Like, everybody has their own identification of what a top producer means. For me personally, I don't think it even matters. I think it's just dopamine for our mindset to hear that I'm doing something fun. It's another badge as a great guy or a great gal, right? It's like the pen. The pen is a great tool, but if you fall in the trap of your chemicals in your brain just because you want your ego to feel better, I'm here to tell you that you're going to rub some people the wrong way. Humble yourself and maintain a good, healthy, abundant mindset and just be there for the people. The reason I share this with you is I used to elevate my nose and walk around. Do you know who I am? I'm a top team, this and producer and coordinator and manager, and I'm the top gun of the company. I'm the regional director of the company. And I would like put my head up as I have it all figured out and I had it all done. And what I didn't realize is it contradicted everything that I would teach in front of the room. Humble yourself, be there for the people, love on every single person, help whomever needs to help, work with those who work hard. And I was pretending to be something that I was not. I keep saying an I because I've made these mistakes and I'm trying to save you many more of these mistakes for yourself. It is incredibly important for you to do the right thing at all times. Here's another mistake: to give the idea that the network marketing profession is easy. And here's how you identify if you're doing it. If you say something like this, dude, it's so easy. You just enroll one on the left and one on the right, and that's it. No, it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would have done it. There's a reason there's resistance to network marketing, because it is by far the hardest thing that I have ever done professionally, not because I don't know or I can't work hard. No, because I deal with human beings and I have to literally change my focus on what is important to every individual human being that I'm dealing with. And sometimes I'm dealing with 5, 10, 20 people per day on an individual one-on-one level, and then hundreds, if not thousands per week as a group setting. So I have to adjust who I am for that person in order to create the results, because it's never about me. It's about them and the goals that they're hoping for. So if I pretend that it's easy, I'm here to tell you I've set you up for failure. You would always hear me correct people when they say easy. I'm like, what he meant is simple. See, one on the left, one on the right is simple. It doesn't necessarily mean easy. And don't make that mistake and pretend that it's easy, because nothing great in life is ever easy. There's always hard work that goes within it. Okay? The worst mistake of it all, is to allow your unlimited beliefs to take over your day-to-day activity, is to pretend that maybe I'm not good enough. You are good enough, and someone led you wrong, or put you in the wrong place, in the wrong position, or what, you were with the wrong company and you weren't able to identify because you didn't have the experience or the expertise just yet. But I believe that we are all given God-given talent to be able to do all the things that we desire and wish for. The question is, am I going to listen to the negative side of me or the positive side of me? Because they both will always exist. The yin and the yang always coexist. If you ever see what the yin and yang looks like, right? It's like the half black, half white. It's like a two fish with an eye, right? Half black, half white. If the black fish eats the white fish, by default, it is darkness. It also disappears. If the white fish eats the black fish, by default, it becomes all white. It also disappears. So they both have to coexist. They have to be in creation at the same exact time. So I understand. I'm not oblivious that the world has negativities in it. But what I do know is I choose to focus on the good. I choose to have faith. I choose to identify that I can and I will. I choose to realize that the people I work with are great people. They want good for me. They may make mistakes or have made mistakes in prior companies. They may have told me something was going to work out and it did not. It's not their fault. It's not my fault. It's just part of life, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. And right now, I identify that I'm more than qualified, more than ready, more than able, more than capable to make it happen, not just for me, but for the thousands of people that I work with throughout the whole world. So I ask of you, are you ready to avoid the 10 MLM mistakes? Now, there's one last asterisk on the bottom left corner that you don't see. Everything that I shared with you, I have made as a mistake myself. But there are plenty more mistakes that you're going to have to do on your own. You have to fail forward. You have to struggle before you succeed. They call it the BS. And BS stands for beautiful stories. Because while you're going through the BS, you're mad, you're angry, you're frustrated, you hate it. But then when you make it to the top of the ranks, you get on that stage and you say, man, I remember when this happened and when this went wrong and that person quit and that person did this. They're beautiful motivational stories, aren't they? So embrace the BS, love on yourself, learn what you are required to learn, and be the best version that you can be for yourself. Tonight, for our community, we're doing an open Q&A session for our those who are driven members and brand new with Alex Babliakis at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to get a link. Make sure you join us. For everyone else, making an amazing, fantastic, incredible day. And until tomorrow, I look forward to seeing your greatness, making it happen always and every day. Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care.